and his deputy transporting prisoners to a Texas penitentiary. See hostile guns today at noon on Action Theater. Now with The Human Duplicator, starring George Nader and Barbara Nichols, as we enter into The World Beyond. Join us next week at this time for Unknown World, starring Bruce Kellogg. Join us now for Godzilla versus the Sea Monster as we enter The World Beyond. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. We now return to Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. Join us now with Lloyd Bridges and Angie Dickinson in Love War as we enter The World Beyond. Love War, starring Lloyd Bridges and Angie Dickinson, now continues. Love War, starring Lloyd Bridges and Angie Dickinson, will continue in a moment. Now continues. Join us now with Roddy McDowell and Claude Akins in Battle for the Planet of the Apes as we enter The World Beyond. Today's World Beyond presentation, Battle for the Planet of the Apes. Now back to Battle for the Planet of the Apes with Roddy McDowell and Claude Akins. We invite you to join us now with Vincent Price and Sir Cedric Hardwick in The Invisible Man Returns as we enter The World Beyond. The Invisible Man Returns, starring Vincent Price and Sir Cedric Hardwick, now continues. Today's journey into The World Beyond continues as we rejoin The Invisible Man Returns. with Vincent Price and Richard Long in The House on Haunted Hill as we enter the world beyond. The House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price and Richard Long now continues. The World Beyond feature, The House on Haunted Hill. Join us now with Hugh Marlowe and Joan Taylor in Earth versus the Flying Saucers as we enter the World Beyond. Versus the Flying Saucers, starring Hugh Marlowe and Joan Taylor. Earth versus the Flying Saucers with Hugh Marlowe and Joan Taylor now continues. In Riders to the Stars as we enter the World Beyond. Three-headed monster as we enter the World Beyond. Ghidra, the three-headed monster, now continues on World Beyond. We now return to Ghidra, the three-headed monster on World Beyond. Join us now for Son of Godzilla as we take another trip into the World Beyond. Now return to Son of Godzilla on World Beyond. Now back to today's World Beyond presentation, Son of Godzilla. Join us now with Grant Williams and Randy Stewart in The Incredible Shrinking Man as we enter the World Beyond. Today's World Beyond presentation, The Incredible Shrinking Man. Now back to The Incredible Shrinking Man with Grant Williams and Randy Stewart. Join us now with Mark Dana and Diana Brewster in The Pharaoh's Curse as we enter the World Beyond. Join us now with Richard Anderson and Elaine Edwards in Curse of the Faceless Man as we enter the World Beyond. return to Curse of the Faceless Man, starring Richard Anderson and Elaine Edwards. The Faceless Man, starring Richard Anderson, now continues. Women. Join us now with Boris Karloff and Beverly Taylor in Voodoo Island as we enter the world beyond. Voodoo Island, starring Boris Karloff and Beverly Taylor. Voodoo Island with Boris Karloff and Beverly Taylor now continues. Join us now with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in The Gargon as we enter the world beyond. Now back to The Gargon, starring Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. The Gargon with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee now continues. Join us now with Robert Shane and Doris Merrick in The Neanderthal Man as we enter the world beyond. Now back to The Neanderthal Man, starring Robert Shane and Doris Merrick. The Neanderthal Man with Robert Shane and Doris Merrick now continues. Join us now with John Beale, Colleen Gray, and Deb Greer in Mark of the Vampire as we enter the world beyond. Now back to Mark of the Vampire, starring John Beale and Colleen Gray. Mark of the Vampire with John Beale and Deb Greer now continues. Join us now as we present The Mysterians on today's journey into the world beyond. Now back to The Mysterians. The Mysterians now continues on World Beyond. Join us now with Peter Graves and Peggy Castle in The Beginning of the End as we enter into the world beyond. We now return to The Beginning of the End, starring Peter Graves and Peggy Castle. And now back to The Beginning of the End.
with Boris Karloff and Ward Bond in Night Key as we enter into the world beyond.
Join us now with Richard Boone and Theodore Bickel in I Bury the Living as we enter the world beyond. And Patricia Medina in The Beast of Hollow Mountain as we enter the world beyond. The Curse of Dracula now continues. The Curse of Dracula will continue on World Beyond. In the science fiction adventure, The Blob, as we enter the world beyond.
Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and flies across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and flies across the floor, right through the door and all around the wall. A splotch, be careful of the blob. Beware of the blob, it creeps and leaps and flies across the floor. I put the door and all around the wall and watch.
The Blob, starring Steve McQueen, now continues. Now back to the world beyond and The Blob. With George Reeves and Barbara Steele in the Castle of Terror as we enter the world beyond. The Castle of Terror with George Reeves and Barbara Steele now continues. Today's World Beyond presentation, The Castle of Terror. Join us now with Cameron Mitchell and James Whitmore in Face of Fire as we enter the World Beyond. Face of Fire with Cameron Mitchell and James Whitmore now continues. Now back to Face of Fire on World Beyond. With William Prince, Jim Backus, and Christine White in Macabre as we enter the World Beyond. Macabre, starring William Prince and Christine White, now continues. Now back to today's World Beyond presentation, Macabre. Join us now with Raymond Burr in Godzilla, King of the Monsters, as we enter the World Beyond. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, now continues on World Beyond. Now back to today's World Beyond presentation, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Godzilla, as we enter the World Beyond. Back to the terror of Mechagodzilla on TV5's World Beyond. The terror of Mechagodzilla now continues. Join us now with Don McGowan and Joyce Holden in The Werewolf as we enter the World Beyond. The Werewolf with Don McGowan and Joyce Holden now continues. Now back to today's World Beyond presentation, The Werewolf. Bridges and Carol Christensen in The Three Stooges in Orbit as we enter the world beyond. We now return to The Three Stooges in Orbit on World Beyond. Now back to The Three Stooges in Orbit, starring The Three Stooges and Carol Christensen. Join us now with Marshall Thompson and Kim Spaulding in The Terror from Beyond Space as we enter the world beyond. Now back to The Terror from Beyond Space with Marshall Thompson and Kim Spaulding. The Terror from Beyond Space now continues on World Beyond. Join us now with Basil Rathbone, Bela Lugosi, and Lon Chaney in The Black Sleep as we enter the world beyond. The Black Sleep with Basil Rathbone and Lon Chaney now continues. The Black Sleep now returns on World Beyond. Join us now for Rodan as we enter the world beyond. Rodan now continues on TV5's World Beyond. We now return to Rodan.